say sometimes I just need my head rubbed. Are you wondering if you should get a Jack Russell Terrier or not? Or are you wondering if you should be even adopting a dog or not? Of course, Luna here would want you to say yes to that question, but guys, in today's video we are going to discuss if you should be adopting a Jack Russell Terrier or if you should even be adopting a dog in general. What's up guys? Welcome back to the Terrier Owner YouTube channel. Josh here with TerrierOwner.com. Luna here with TerrierOwner.com as well. The channel is specifically dedicated to making these videos about Jack Russell Terriers, other breeds of Terriers, and just answering your frequently asked questions about dogs in general. So if you would find any of that helpful or you enjoy these kind of videos, guys, be sure to subscribe to the channel down below. Give us a thumbs up because when you do that, it helps us out dramatically with the YouTube algorithm. And for now, let's go ahead and dive into if you should be getting a Jack Russell Terrier or if you should even be adopting a dog in general. Which, guys, I've decided to break this down into 7 key questions that you should ask yourself before adopting a Jack Russell Terrier or before adopting a dog in general. So let's start with number 1, which is the money investment for a Jack Russell Terrier or the money investment for a dog in general. That is going to be number 1. Can you afford to adopt one of these Jack Russells, or can you afford to adopt a dog in general? Typically, guys, I spend about 50 to 60 bucks a month on owning a Jack Russell Terrier. And of course, you have other fees that are associated with owning a dog too. You have vet bills that pop up, you have spaying and neutering, you have more toys if you decide to buy more toys, if you like to splurge on accessories, and tons of items like that. So you should always be asking yourself if you realistically have money in the budget for a dog, and if you have the emergency funds in case something happens with that said dog or your Jack Russell Terrier. And then you can move on into question number 2 to ask yourself, and that's how often do you travel? The reason this is important, guys, is because you don't want to be paying boarding fees nonstop to board your Jack Russell or to board any dog for that matter. You don't want to have them staying in a different scary location that they're not used to all of the time. And you don't want to be relying on family to take care of your dog all the time either. It can be a pain even whenever we want to travel as a family because we always have to find somebody to watch Luna and my other dog here. So if you travel all of the time, you're always on the go, getting a Jack Russell or a dog in general may not be the best idea for you. However, if you're home quite a bit, I happen to work from home, so that makes it that much easier to take care of these guys, then it could be a great situation for you to adopt one of these dogs. You'll have the time and the bandwidth to take care of them, and you won't have to rely on other people nonstop to help you get through the time that you're away from them. Guys, question number 3 that you should ask yourself is, does everybody in the house want the said dog or a Jack Russell Terrier? Is it going to make sense for everybody? Because if it's not, you probably shouldn't do it, or you should wait until it does make sense. It doesn't matter if you're married with kids or you live in an apartment with roommates, but if not everybody's on board, it's going to cause problems. Because these dogs, you know, they're hyper, and that doesn't just go for Jack Russell Terriers, it goes for a lot of other dogs too. So they're going to need to go outside. They need to be fed. They're going to chew things that they shouldn't chew. And if that's going to severely upset somebody in the household or they can't handle that aspect of dog ownership, then you probably shouldn't be getting a dog in the first place. But if you've had that conversation with everybody and everybody is on board, then absolutely you should be adopting one of these awesome looking dogs right here, right? And you would have the green light, obviously, from the family members, so go for it. Guys, number 4, and it's probably the most important question that you should ask yourself is, can you handle this puppy right here when they're a puppy? Everything she's doing right now looks fun. It's all fun and games. It's all easy. But when these dogs are puppies or when any dog is a puppy, that's when your tolerance and your patience are going to be tested the most. That's when you're going to have pee on the carpet, you're going to have poop in the kitchen, you're going to have a pair of shoes chewed up, they don't know their name from any other word in the English language, and they just do things that annoy the crap out of you, so to speak. So ask yourself if you can handle a puppy. Can you get through that initial, I would say, 9 months to a year in order to reach a calmer state of mind with these dogs? And keep in mind, a Jack Russell does not calm down at 1-year-old by any means. It just gets better than when they're a puppy. These dogs keep a high level of energy, probably upward closer to 10 years, but as far as being a little more obedient or knowing what's going on, it gets much better once they exit puppyhood. But definitely be sure to ask yourself if you can handle a puppy before you go adopt a dog or a Jack Russell Terrier. Guys, number 5 is, what's your work schedule look like? Is your Jack Russell going to have to be crated all the time? Now, don't get me wrong here. If you work a normal 8 hours and they do have to be crated while you're gone, or you need to come home on a lunch break, that's okay. That doesn't mean not to adopt one of them, but how often does your work schedule change? Are they going to be able to have any kind of routine or any kind of consistency with potty breaks, eating schedule, exercise, etc.? If your work schedule is so demanding that you won't be able to put in any time or any consistency for a dog in general, especially a Jack Russell, it's probably not the best idea, because consistency is one of the ways that this dog learns everything and how they learn the best. So be sure to realistically think about, if your life is too hectic, when you work, what you can do for them in order to provide training, love, affection, and discipline. And if it seems like it would work out, go for it. But if realistically, when you ask yourself, it makes no sense, don't do it, because you're going to put yourself in a really stressful situation if you do. Okay guys, number 6 is, can you provide any form of exercise? This kind of ties back into number 5, or a yard, or some way for them to run around and do something. Let's say that you live in an apartment and you also have a busy work schedule. That's going to be really tough for them to really ever do anything. But let's say you live where you have a fenced-in backyard, like in my situation, and when the weather permits, you can also get them out and about. That's perfectly fine, but you need to be realistic with yourself if you have the time to provide any exercise or interaction with them, or if they're going to be able to get any kind of movement or exercise based on your property. If you can't, either figure out a way that it will work or don't do it, because these guys sitting on their butt all day long is going to create probably a pretty destructive dog, or a dog that gets bored and finds some things that you do not want them to do. So make sure you keep that in mind, which kind of directly correlates into my next question to ask yourself, which is also part of the 4th question about asking yourself if you can handle a puppy, but can you handle losing or dealing with the loss of some of the things that you like? And I'm talking about belongings here. You know, Jack Russell might jump on your couch with muddy feet. It's going to get your couch dirty. They might pee on your carpet that's brand new when they're a puppy, or later. They might poop on something they shouldn't poop on, or they might chew up a shoe or chew up some molding on the floor in your house. Trim, I should say, I'm sorry. But can you handle that when it happens, or is it just going to stress you beyond belief? Any dog, including a Jack Russell, when you get them, it's a give and take. You will lose some things, or money will be spent in areas that you probably didn't budget for. Whether that's new trim, a new pair of shoes, paint on the walls, or getting your couch cleaned, I don't really know, because the scenarios probably differ with everybody. But expect it to happen, and if you can't handle that, you probably shouldn't adopt one of them, because it will happen. And of course, guys, we want to know what else you think about the Jack Russell or adopting a dog in general. What other questions do you think you should ask yourself before getting one of these dogs? Especially if you have owned one in the past. You know, what do you think the viewers should know or ask themselves before getting one? Be sure to leave those kind of comments down below for us so that we can help everybody in the community out. And be sure that if you enjoy these videos with Luna out and about, learning about Jack Russells or learning about dogs in general, that you subscribe to the channel down below. Be sure to hit that notification button so you're notified on Tuesdays and Sundays when the new videos come out. And guys, please give us that thumbs up on this video, because it helps us out immensely when you do that. And never ever forget to go over to terrierowner.com, check out the blog, ask some questions in the search bar, and get the answers that you need to take better care of your Jack Russell here. That also helps us out immensely. We appreciate all of the subscribers we have had so far. The channel is growing. Luna's loving it. I'm loving it. We appreciate you guys. And we will see you on Tuesday in the next video, guys. Happy New Year again, and take care.